Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are on our way to celebrate a special someone's birthday. Christian turned 25 today. I really wanted to film this video when we were back at home, but this is like the only period of time that we found to fit in this video. And funny enough, we're actually filming this video on the exact date that we moved from Puerto Rico to the USA in Maryland. So it's kind of fitting. This video is going to be a moving abroad Q&A where I ask you guys some questions that you may have, whether you are moving away from your family for college or like us, just starting a new life abroad. And we're also going to be talking about just like our experience in general. So I wrote down a couple of things because I just want to have this video lay out here. I feel that a year ago today I was crying. The first few weeks when we moved to Maryland were hard because it's crazy to you spend 24 years of your life living and being close to your family, and then all of a sudden you don't know when will be the next time that you see them because you're literally an ocean apart. So that was hard. I cried a lot the first few weeks, and yeah, I was feeling homesick. I felt guilty. And sometimes, even though, I'm out of the crying phase, I've been for a while, sometimes I still feel guilty because it's I feel that my parents, especially, my grandma, is getting, older by every second, and it's I'm not there, to be with her, and she's, my everything. So it's, really hard for me to be I feeling that I should be there because she's getting old, and yeah, you know what I mean.
I would say so, myself as well. But in my case, it didn't hit me at the moment, just because I was, I had my head in the game. We need to pack up, we need to do this and that, and then when we get here, we have to time it correctly so that we could, my head was busy with planning stuff.
And you were starting a new job.
It's a new job. I didn't have a car, so we had to do that as well, which was kind of stressful. But, after we settled down a bit and things were a little bit more steady, yeah, it started to settle in a bit more. Dang, my parents are back home as well, and her parents as well.
We have nobody, just us, literally.
Yeah, but not even that, although yes, in terms of if we need anything, we can go to our parents or to our friends and family, which also kind of sucks that we don't have that kind of support group over here. But in terms of my parents, like Fab was saying, for her grandma and parents, yeah, they're also getting old, and I'm not there to help them out. Every time that something happened, I was basically the person to be there for them, and it really hits you hard. But you have to realize that at some point in your life, you have to
do that.
You have to do you and pursue your own life. And sometimes you're lucky enough to have your family close and be able to have them be able to help them out whenever they need you, and vice versa. They can help you out whenever they need you, and they're close by, and emotionally, and in physical labor. But yeah, it's something you learn to live with, and it's just a part of life. And I think I saw something. I think it was Markiplier, a YouTuber, and many things her, saying that he felt very bad when he started like not seeing his dad after he graduated high school and whatnot. And then he read like a study or something that said like when you turn 18 or 19, when you graduate high school, you the average of every person in the world, like you've already been with your parents 90% of your lifetime.
Yeah. Because you live with them.
Because you've lived with them and they've raised you, and you've done all the things with them. So that's basically 90%, and then the remaining 10% is the remaining 10% of your life.
Yeah.
So that made him feel better. It doesn't necessarily make me feel a lot better, because to him he felt guilt for not being with him. I don't feel so much guilt. I just feel sad.
Yeah, for me, what brings me peace is that, and also like they also had to do that.
Yeah.
They are
At some
older,
point in their lives.
Like at some point in their lives, they also had to make their own lives, whether that's like by moving to another city, or like us, like moving abroad. So like, even though it's hard, like we're not the first and only people that have done that, like in our families or even like in the whole world. So it's just part of life. And like I keep like replaying my grandma saying like, oh, like when you get old you need to like spread your wings. Like that's like the vision that she like put in my head. Like, so I feel that makes me feel like better. But sometimes I do get guilty and try not to think about it. So yeah, that has to be one of the hardest things, to be honest. And I also a lot of the times feel FOMO, fear of missing out, when like my mom is like sending me pictures of a family get together for like the holidays and I'm not there. It's like, shit, like I want to be there. Like I don't want to miss those experiences when all of our family is like together. And that's why like during Thanksgiving last year it was really hard, because it was like the first Thanksgiving that Krishna and I just spent like together, and
just the
like
two of us.
just the two of us. And the same goes with like my birthday. Like I cried on my birthday when I only heard like only Christians singing me happy birthday, and not like a whole chorus of people just like singing it to me, and just like realizing like, shit, this is sad. Hearing just one voice. And it's fine because he's my husband and I love him, like we are our own family. But like when for the past 24 years of our lives, like we have been with other people, it's like hard to like not hear them anymore, so yeah.
Now I'm sad.
I feel that before we get into the questions, I feel that something that really helps me and makes me like happy and I'm grateful for, and I feel that it's all because we moved, is the fact that I feel that I call my parents more, just because I don't see them like every weekend or like every 2 weekends when we lived in college. Like I feel that every time that I call them is like every 2 days, 3 days, and it's more like the conversations are more intentional, and like all my attention is on that because I don't get to see them. Before it was just like, oh, they're calling me, I don't even call them, they're just calling me because they're my parents, and I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, like whatever, yeah, I'll see you whatever, and hang up. Like I don't know, like now it's like we spend hours literally talking to our families, and I feel like that's something positive that came like out of this situation, just like more intentional calling, not only to our family but also like our friends. Like sometimes when I am just like cleaning the house and organizing it, like I call like my list of friends and I'm just like chatting with them. It's like, yeah, just like part of the things that I have to do. And I feel that my connection is like have grown because of that, and I feel that wouldn't have happened if I did have them with me at all. for me, I feel that the main thing that worried me, apart from like being away from my parents and like not having them, if something happened to me, just like run to our aid, like get a car and just like be there in like 1 hour. I feel that other than that, which is also like still scary, but like, you know, if something happens, I have Christian, I also have like 911, so that's fine. But I feel that something that really scared me was honestly just like the Karens and racism. And thankfully, like, knock on wood, where the heck is there wood here? Like, I don't feel like I've experienced racism or any Karens, like, at least to, like, my face, like, there, like, maybe in their heads, or, like, I don't know, but, like, I haven't experienced that, and I'm really grateful that I haven't, because I just wouldn't know how to react, and that's something I never want to, like, experience. Unfortunately, like, it is a real thing, and not because I haven't experienced it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, because it does. So yeah.
Yep. That was like one of the things that I worried about as well. And thankfully, I interact I interact with people a lot more than Fab does, and haven't had that either, thankfully. So that's a good thing.
So let's just get into these questions, and remember, if you want to be like a part of these like Q&As that I make sure that you follow me on Instagram and like stay up to date with like my stories, because that's where I post like the little question box and you guys just like ask me questions. So let's go. Christian.
Yes.
Question number 1. How much do we pay for rent?
$1,500.
$1,500. And that for us is kind of crazy, because coming from like our college town, like this rent is three times more, and even like a little bit higher of what we literally paid in Mayagüez, in our college town in Puerto Rico. So that's like, that was like a big moment, like.
Yeah. Monthly, it's more or less like 17 or 1800.
Yeah.
It turns out to be, with electricity,
which is so crazy.
water, and the internet bill.
Would you recommend people move to Maryland?
I mean,
I honestly,
Maryland is a big state, though.
Yeah.
So
honestly, like, do you want to say something?
no, I was gonna say it's a big state, but it's not really. It's big for us because we're used to Puerto Rico. It's not really that big of a state, but it's, you know, it's pretty big for
Yeah.
us. So on our side of Maryland, no, but
If you want the fall, winter, just like all the seasons,
and to have a chill vibe, or it just depends on where in
Yeah.
Maryland.
Yeah, if you want to have like the 4 seasons, if you want to live in a primarily blue state
And raise a family, or
and raise a family,
like get a farm,
and
or
be close
something.
to like DC,
Yeah.
sure. But honestly, for me, I don't see this being my forever state. Like, I want to explore others. So it just like depends on the life stage where you're at and your priorities, and whether you have explored other states and are ready to settle down. What things do you miss the most? Our family,
Yes. And the beaches.
beaches, the food,
Yeah.
it being cheap,
Yeah.
our friends. There's a lot of things. The warm weather year round, the proximity of like everything.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things, honestly.
The
people.
The people, like familiarity,
Yeah.
like people being
Kindness.
friendly. I mean, not that people aren't friendly here. It's just if you know, it's just friendlier
Yeah.
back home. The live music, I guess.
The Spanish language.
At the beginning, it was very draining to start to just be at work because I had to talk to other people in English, and it's been like such a long time. I think I've never actually talked to a person
Like
strictly and only in English.
Not in Spanglish and like
Yeah.
mixing the languages.
So it was very hard for me, and it took a lot of me to just maintain one language.
Yeah.
And
For me, it's a little bit easier because I talk to you guys like every single day, and I'm always like speaking English when I'm like talking to you on stories, on YouTube videos. So even though like I'm not actively speaking to someone like in front of me, I still believe that I had like more practice and like forming my own thoughts and just like going with it.
Yeah.
What are some biggest differences? How is Maryland different from Puerto Rico? How is living in Maryland compared to Puerto Rico? Just like everything.
I mean, we kind of answered that.
Yeah, just like the seasons, the expensiveness of everything.
Yeah, I even said like we said when we went back to Puerto Rico for our wedding and for other things. I even said like the grass is even a different color. Like the green in Puerto Rico is a different green than over here, and that sounds really weird. And that I don't remember if you noticed that as well.
I don't.
But I noticed that very quickly, and because it's over here, it's like more forest green,
like
more
darker.
muted, darker, and back home it was very vibrant. It's
like almost neon. I mean,
yes, yeah, like almost not. Yeah.
Also, it's definitely different in the way that literally the signs right now are all in English. Like in Puerto Rico is like in Spanish. Like everything, the menus, the signs in the road, just like the people speaking Spanish. And here it's like in English. That's one of the obviously main differences. Did you already adapt?
I'd say we have.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I didn't feel that way since you know, in my job there it was still fairly remote. But once COVID restrictions started to lift off a little bit, we started seeing. I started seeing my coworkers a bit more, and working with them, and that made me adapt more to them, or to the area, made me feel a bit more welcomed and like a part of the community per se. Not so much of the Maryland community or our county community, but at least some of the people.
Yeah. Did time pass by quick or slow? I feel like
too quick
for me. Like for me, in the beginning, it was like slow just because I was like feeling everything, was emotional. But looking back, like today marks a year since we moved, and I feel that it's kind of crazy to say we've lived in the U.S. for a year. Like what the heck? I feel like it was today that we moved.
Yeah, and for me it passed by pretty quickly the whole time.
For me, summer passed by so quick, and I'm so sad.
It's still going on.
How is this real life? Like I feel that I wait the entire year for it to be summer, and then it's like gone in like 3 months. Like it's not fair.
We're also not used to not having a summer break, obviously, from school and college. It's for freaking 12 plus, more than 12 years, obviously. We've been, for 25 years, for 24 years, we were used to having summer breaks.
Yep.
And not having that, it was a bit shocking. I was already kind of, expecting it in my mind, and also I've always taken like either summer classes or a summer
in
job,
college.
so for at least a month, so I don't miss it too much. But yeah,
But when
it
you
was,
really think about it, it's like, shoot, like we don't have summer break.
yeah.
I mean, you don't have one.
I think what most closely like affected me was the winter break, because I don't know why I missed that one even more than the summer break for some
Really?
reason. I guess
I don't remember one winter break back in Puerto Rico, to be honest.
I think I just feel like summer is kind of the same thing, like for
That
everyone.
makes
Like,
sense.
and if we wanted to go to the beach during the winter back home, and any month we could just go.
Yeah.
So it was like a normal thing. But winter in like a December time frame, we always had Christmas, so we visited family and all that stuff. So I guess that for me was a bit more like, oh damn, I missed that instead of summer.
And something else that I literally just realized and forgot to tell you guys, like this huge difference, is that when you are like in winter here, it literally is pitch black, pitch dark at 5 p.m. How is that even possible? Like, I absolutely hate it so much.
I like it.
And then in the summertime, I love it because it literally gets dark at like 9 p.m. And I'm like a daytime girly. I think that for as long as I can remember, like I don't like the nighttime. I don't like sleeping. I like just going out, being out and about. It's like the daylight just brings me like happiness. And when it's like dark, in the nighttime, I feel like really anxious and like bad, like I don't know, like
bad juju,
like bad things. Like I don't know, I just don't like it. But I do like that it goes like the clock goes back like an hour, because I feel like it gives me like, I don't know, like I have like a free hour. Anyways, that's a topic for another time. But yeah, that's another big difference here.
I freaking love the day. I mean, not the thing of daylight savings where they actually like roll back the clock. I think that's stupid. I still haven't figured out why that's a good thing. For me, maybe that's a good thing for like other lines of work. I've heard like for the farmers and whatnot, but regardless, I like it getting dark earlier, just because I feel like I can settle down and chill earlier during like this summertime, that it's going like the sun is going down like completely by 9 o'clock. It just feels like not never ending, and I don't like it.
I love that.
I don't like it. I like to wind down earlier. Like it's 5 o'clock. Oh,
5
5
o'clock. Pitch black outside.
Yep, I'm gonna cozy up.
No, it's 5 o'clock. It's not even like nighttime, and it's literally nighttime.
It is now.
No. Is Maryland your forever home?
Oh.
For me, I keep saying it, no. Like I said, I feel that I want to explore other states. And I don't want to like close down like my doors, and just because we moved here, because Christian found a job here, like doesn't mean that we need to like settle down here. Like we're young, I want to experience other things and states. So for me, no.
I don't think so either. Just because, first of all, I am pretty indifferent to
everything that happens.
To everything, basically.
Which is good.
But also, I feel like there's not too many things to do around here, and I like going out and doing like new culinary things, like going to a new restaurant every time, which we had a lot back in Maya West, and going out with our friends, like just obviously the friend aspect is different, But, we could just decide to go out, and we can.
Yeah.
And get something new and not break the bank on it.
Yeah.
In here, we just have, Walmart.
Yeah, for me, this is not my forever home.
Yeah, so definitely something will change in the future.
Yeah. No offense to all of you Marylanders.
Yeah, and Maryland is big. I'm sure there's other parts of Maryland that are more active than where we are.
Mm-hmm.
But
was it easy to find a job in the States?
I mean, that was kind of the reason why we moved here. So it's not that it was easy. It's just that it happened. Yeah. The way I got the job was from my college's job fair. I interviewed with the company, and I passed like all of the rounds of interviews, and they had different locations around the U.S., and I kind of liked this one better. So
yeah, and we had like a friend that
we had a friend that already worked here and lived here, so he said it was fine, it was good, he liked everything, so we just went for it.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like we were craving that like familiarity, I guess, like since
to get
we
our
just
feet
moved
wet.
here, just to like know that we had someone and not be like blind when we moved here. But now I feel that because we've lived here for like a year, like we sort of like have our feet on the ground and like realize that we can do anything
we want.
So yeah. Don't you get bored now without friends and family? I feel that in the beginning I did, but as the months passed by, I made like some connections with some bloggers and influencers in the DC area, and we have like a group chat, and there has been like a handful of times where I have seen them. Just like knowing that they're here like doesn't make me feel like I don't have anyone, even though like I just met them. And honestly, I've always been like sort of like a homebody. My friends are like the same friends that I've had for like years, and they like even in Puerto Rico that like they lived in different cities. So like I don't feel like super lonely or sad because it's like sort of the same thing. I can just like call them, text them, and I feel like they're with me. But it's been nice to like have these other like girlies in the DC area, and even sometimes with Christian's coworkers we hang out with. So that's been nice.
Also, in terms of being bored or whatever, I convinced Fab to start playing Fortnite. So that's a new activity that we do together now,
and
we communicate with our college friends.
Yep.
And that's a good avenue to do something together, because I don't think I've ever played video games with Fab, except for the once or twice that we played Mario Kart, where I beat her because I'm that good. So it wasn't that fun. But at least in Fortnite we play together, and it's fun.
But honestly, like even though all those things, like of course, like some days I obviously feel bored. Like it's not like I don't feel bored any of the days. But we have like stuff to do. Like I have my job, he has his job. Like during the weekends, like we do things. And yeah, like sometimes I do feel bored just because like there's some weekends where we're like, what are we gonna do? Like we have this like long weekend, like we don't have anyone, like let's just plan like a trip. Like trips are like what fuels my entire year at this point, like living here, just because we don't have like lots of things to do. So like planning trips and going on road trips or just like even on a plane is just like what makes me happy. Is it easy to make new friends? I don't think it is.
I mean, in my case, I would say it's not easy either. I just have for now, you know, I could call my coworkers that I have right now my friends, just because we've been so much time together and we've hung out like in each other's houses, and we've met our families, and we're pretty chill together. But that's been almost like 6 months in being in here. And also in Fab's case, because you meet friends the usual way we meet friends or we have met friends
It's through school
is
or college.
yeah. So it's through being in a
space where
group
you have to be there and other people
and
also
interact.
have to be there and interact. So if you
to a
don't,
greater purpose, like
Yeah.
for another mean, and then being friends is a byproduct of it.
yeah, but because like I do content creation like full time, like I don't have a job to report to. Best advice for meeting new people. In my case, I feel that if you are a blogger or an influencer, you can definitely just check on Instagram and like the search bar, like Texas influencer, Maryland blogger, and people will definitely come out, and you can just like message them and be like, hey, I'm new to the area, and just like send a friendly message. If you're not an influencer, I feel that if you go to school or college, it's a good way to make new friends. However, if you work like in a job, I feel that that's another good way to make friends. Or if you have any extracurricular activities, I think that's a great way to make friends, and just like meet them in places where you regularly go to or have like the same interest in, like at a yoga place, at a cute coffee shop. If you go to church, that's also a good way to like make new friends. So I feel that just like find new friends and take on like extracurricular activities to like make connections. I think that's the best way to make friends. Did you make any friends in Maryland?
Yes.
Christian's coworkers. And I guess like the girls that I told you guys about, like that are from Washington DC. So technically I would say yes. Please make sure that you subscribe if you have not done so already, and also make sure that you follow me on Instagram to stay up to date with my day-to-day life. If you have any other questions that you would like for us to answer, just comment them down below and I will definitely reply. I love you guys so much. Thanks for being here, and I will see you in my next video.